right, welcome back, families, to another episode of Q and A. I'm Q
And I'm A.
with a pretty self. All right,
All right, so today we are going to talk a little bit about the incident that's going on with Travis Scott. But before we get started, we do want to say for you to help us.
like, subscribe, share, comment, because we appreciate y'all support just as much as y'all appreciate our content and these conversations. So thank you.
And we also do want to say that, everything we talk about is just our personal opinions
Point of view.
and point of views, and it has nothing to do with anything professional or anything like that.
And with that being said, the topic today is Travis Scott accountable? Me, in my personal opinion, I don't think he is. For the simple fact that people paid to come see a show. No one paid to be trampled. No one paid to start a stampede. No one paid to overdose on drugs. No one paid to get stuck in the neck. Now notice, everything I said had nothing to do with Travis Scott. You understand? Everything I said, everything I mentioned had everything to do with the crowd. You understand? Now I'm not saying that there's nothing that he could have done. You know what I'm saying? From what I've seen footage of him, you know what I'm saying, hey, say somebody over here, something wrong with them, they need help. In my point of view, that's what he was supposed to do. Now, I hear people saying he should have stopped the show and ended the show and this, that, and the third. And me thinking logically, I don't understand that because I've seen people pass out from simply seeing Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Does that mean he should have stopped going out in public? No. No one ever said, hey, Mike, you shouldn't come out in public because when people see you,
They
they
pass
go
out.
hysterical. You see how crazy that sounds? No one
But
says, hey, you know what I'm saying, Michael Jackson, you shouldn't sign autographs no more because when you have autograph signings, people pass out from seeing you. Like, no one says that.
okay, so I know we're talking about people's lives, and some people did pass away
Right.
from the incident that happened.
And it's very unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate, and it is very sad. But what we're saying is, like, seeing that people are putting all the blame on him, we don't think is fair. Because we feel like as an artist, like he did his part as an artist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like 100,000 people were at his show, and two handfuls of people
decided to do
whatever it is
right.
that they decided to do, and terrible things happen. But one, that's why they have EMTs, that's why they have medical personnel, that's why they have security. It's their job to take control of the situation and make sure that things are being managed. Him as an artist, it's his job to make sure the show goes on.
Right.
It's his job to make sure when things did happen, he did what he was supposed to. Look, he pointed out the person that he saw that was being that needed help. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, get help over here.
And honestly, as an artist, when things like that start to happen, like I honestly felt like even if he was gonna stop the show, it would have been for his safety. Like, right. Look, I gotta get out of here because I don't know what's gonna happen next. Right. They crossing barriers and trampling people. Like, right. I don't know what could happen. And for people to sit here and blame him like, hey, he didn't do what he was supposed to do. He should have done this and he should have done that. Like, that's not a fair assumption to make. That's not a fair judgment.
It's like we really lack accountability. I've seen people like jump on stage at concerts, and it's like, oh well, he could do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what about the artist safety at that point? You know what I'm saying? You didn't buy a ticket to come jump on stage and perform with me. Like, that's not how it goes. You paid to be in the crowd, to enjoy the music that you know, to dance, to sing, to
laugh, and enjoy the people you came with company and things like that.
If you want to do drugs at the show, by all means, do whatever drugs you want to do. But you
that
are
is your
you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
For that action. Now, It's crazy. No one. I heard people were saying, oh, somebody was sticking people with you know what I'm saying, with a needle injecting drugs in them. Okay, so why is it not that person's fault? You understand? No one is like, oh, we need to find him.
Yeah, people are making it seem like he invited this person and he told this person to be doing this and he planned this. Like that's not.
I got another question. Who told the crowd to jump over the to start a riot, to start stampeding toward the stage? Nobody told them to do that. Travis Scott didn't not one time say, "Hey, jump over the barricades and rush the stage." That's not what he said. The man said nothing of that nature. So how can he be held accountable for something he had no control over?
So what our point is that people have to be accountable for themselves, and people have to be accountable for the things that they let happen and things like that. The people. If anything, the security should be blamed. The EMTs that didn't do what they were supposed to do fast enough. The security that wasn't able to control the situations. They should be blamed.
Right.
They should be blamed.
Because it's literally your job to save lives.
When security is hired for a concert, they are not hired by Travis Scott. They are hired by the city. The city. So who's blaming the city of Houston for what happened?
Nobody. But it's easy to say, oh, Travis Scott, you the guy. You the guy that put on this event.
Is he being blamed? So my question is he being blamed because he's a star?
Of course.
Because he got money?
Of course.
I mean, because I really wanna understand. Because honestly, realistically speaking, like I just really don't understand. If somebody can comment and let me know, I would gladly.
I got another one. So if I go outside right now and decide to smoke crack, disclaimer, I don't smoke crack. But just saying, if I go outside
I'm sorry I laughed at that.
If I go outside right now and decide to smoke crack and overdose, right? Is it God's fault that I smoke crack? No. Nobody's going to blame God and be like, hey, God.
You shouldn't have let him do that.
Yeah. It's like, what?
That's a choice. That's a choice that he made.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same logic. These people went to a show, decided to do drugs for those that decided to do drugs. I understand that not everybody that decided to do drugs, but for those that decided to do drugs and had unwarranted side effects, that's their problem.
That's their choice.
Fault.
That was their choice that they made.
Right.
That was their choice that was the consequences to their actions.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Well, okay, so the people. So now with that, I'm like, okay, so you say you have a crowd of 100,000. You got 50 people doing drugs. So that's 950,000 that at least seen 50 people, you know what I'm saying, doing some type of drug. And none of them 950,000 were like, hey, you shouldn't do that.
Oh, you got to get out of here with that.
Yeah. Why is that not the case? You understand what I'm saying?
Look, all we're saying,
Go ahead.
All we're saying is people need to be accountable and think about who they're blaming for what happened.
You know what I mean? And to be honest, the simple fact that he's going out of his way to
compensate,
to compensate these families, like that's, to me, that shows a level of integrity and remorse that a lot of people don't even care to have. Right. It's like you blaming me for these people's lives, and I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, take care of their families. Like, what are you talking about? What are you saying? You know what I mean? It's like, you ever seen a murderer pay for the funeral of his victim? No.
That's some cruel shit.
Right. That never happens. You know what I mean? And he's literally responsible for the death that he caused. You know what I'm saying? But not one murderer that's ever been to jail, or that's ever been caught, or that's ever not been caught, has paid for the funeral
that we know of,
that they've murdered. You know what I'm saying?
That we know of.
Even the most Bugsy Siegel, known gangster. You know what I'm saying? Back in the old days, the man was known for killing people. Like, you know what I'm saying? how many funerals he paid for? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I could go on. It's everybody want to be a gangster. Ask the gangsters these rappers that claim they done caught all these bodies. Ask them how many funerals they paid for the bodies that they caught. I mean, none. And it's like that for a reason. It's like, come on, man. Even though he has to be responsible for his action, does he not? Yes, because everybody does. I mean, the man put on the show for y'all to have a good time. Not just for y'all, but for people to have a good time. You know what I mean? Now, what you do after that, that's on you. You know what I mean? Just like what he did. If he put on the show and don't perform, now he's accountable. If he put on the show and don't show up, he's accountable. I mean, now it's like, oh, you got to pay us our money, or give us a refund, or give us a new ticket, or something, a virtual show up, something. You know what I'm saying? Now you can hold them accountable. But for whatever go on out there in the crowd, that's not his problem. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you gotta handle that within the people that you're deciding to.
Do whatever it is that they did, and the people that is supposed to be protecting those people.
Like, yeah, it's nobody blaming.
Hey, what happened?
What was the security? Why did security just let these people stand? You know what I'm saying?
How did they get drugs through? Isn't this security there? How did they get the drugs through? Because I got questions too. Somebody please help me.
Right, and I will say this: like, we've all been to parties. You know what I'm saying? Whether you've been to college or high school or whatnot. We know when we go to these parties.
We know what happens.
Right. I mean, and it's never the promoter that's held accountable for the drugs that's being used in those parties. It's never the owner of the house that's been held accountable for, you know what I'm saying, whatever happens, you know what I'm saying, to a person in that party. It's always the person that did whatever. You know what I mean? And this is no different. Just because this man has status or whatever the case may be, you have to look at things
realistically.
You know what I'm saying? With the proper eyes. You know what I mean?
And from all aspects, not just from the victim's aspects, but also from his.
Yeah, it's like, yo, I'm putting on a show for y'all.
He's an artist, but he's also a person, just like everybody else.
For y'all. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to have a good time. You know what I mean? That's why I'm putting on the show. You know? And it's not like, oh, this is the first time Astroworld has come to Houston. Man, as far as I know, this was like the second or third year he's done this. So it's like people know, yo, I'm finna go to this Travis Scott concert, and I know I'm finna have a good time because I did last year.
I did last year and the year before that.
Right. So every time I go, I have a good time. So, what's the problem now? You know? But like we said, man, we just pray and hope.
Look, we're praying. Look, let's just say this: we're praying for the families, and we really hope that they get whatever compensation that they're looking for and whatever help that they need. But at the same time, we just we don't think that he's you can. But we also feel like, you know, maybe you should think about it from all aspects.
Right. If I slap you, you know what I'm saying? Whose fault is that? Mine. I got to be held accountable for that. I mean, I don't care if we at a club. Say we at a club, right? We at a club. We don't even know each other. Travis Scott performing. And I just howl off and smack you. That's Travis Scott's fault? Of course not.
Because he's the star and he's the one performing. He's he's the reason we gathered here.
Yeah, no.
No, if we didn't gather here because of him, he would have never slapped me.
Right,
okay?
No, it
not how it works.
Don't make sense, man, but
so we don't want to take too much of your time. We just wanted to, just put our little opinions out there for everyone to hear. You know, you don't have to agree. You don't have to like us. We just really want to understand. Tell us how you feel.
Help me understand.
Help me understand, because maybe we missed something. You know what I'm saying? Tell us what we missed. It's okay. And we're not going to be upset.
Right. And if he's at fault, then okay, cool. Then
let us know.
You know what I mean? But from where I stand, from where we're standing, and from what we see and hear, I just don't see it. I mean, you know.
But we do love you guys and
Yeah.
appreciate you guys for watching, for listening to us, and
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
look at that. And we will be yeah, we will be ready for and just be ready for our next video.
Yes.
And we love you guys.
Thank you for
Bye.
your support.